Ayo, Nazztravagant, it's time to give him the game.
Yo, yeah, what's poppin', Nazztravagants? Y'all know what time it is. Don't act like y'all don't know the name. It's Nazztravagant, and I'm about to give y'all the game. Yes, sir, we back. But I never left, though. Real talk, true story. And we back with this amazing topic and concept. Very simple word, but the most important word in any form of business and life. Management. So I got these notes, I got bulletins, y'all know how I do it. Don't act like y'all don't know. We've been here before. We just back, and we more better. Shout out to We Extraordinary Music, my sponsor for this episode right now. Go check out all the latest records. From Eddie J, the artist, from Champagne Rod, from Honey Doll, from Humble Thrillskin, Nazztravagant, Frost Dollar, J Vanessa, Juice Money. The list goes on and on and on. Shout out to We Extraordinary Music. But we back. And this is a dope concept for artists and managers. The concept is management. I'll be saying it throughout the night as we proceed in this episode. Management. What's the definition of the management? Well, first of all, let's go over the goal real quick. The goal for this episode and all episodes proceeding forward is, to motivate y'all, educate y'all, and always, backing it up with like a strong case in point. And I feel like I can do that because I have a lot of experience in the management field, and I have experience as an artist having managers. And I'm pretty sure, a lot of you artists have went through some managers or, dreamed to have managers or possibly never even had a manager. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you managers are either like, trying to get your feet wet in the business, or you're already, in the business and things ain't going as well as they should. This is going to be helpful. This is going to be very, very helpful. I want y'all to know too, like I've told y'all in previous episodes, I might sound contradictive sometimes, but there's a purpose behind the contradiction, because as far as this episode, management, I got to look at it on two sides. So like I might say something that contradicts this side versus that side, because I got to look at it as an artist, which I am, and an entertainer. And then I also got to look at it on the flip side, the management side, because the goal and the vision should always be the same between the two. But sometimes the thought process is a little different, because we're dealing with the creative side of things, and then we're dealing with the business side of things. Man, I feel like I talk about this all the time, and that's why this is helpful. And, sometimes you artists are not, you're in your bag, but you're not really in your bag the correct way, because you try to take on too much. Or I've seen this a lot too, the management be trying to take on too much too, because now there's managers and artists like me, you know what I'm saying? And we'll get more on that later, when I talk about that, because that's a heavy point in the bulletin, when artists is playing the same role as management, and they're doing both. Anyways, the definition of management, there's a lot of different definitions if you guys go check it out, but I kind of like took all the definitions and research and kind of, conjoined it into one little brief sentence. A person responsible for controlling and administrating all or parts of the activities, the business dealings, the other aspects of the careers of entertainers, athletes, groups of musicians, or even a company or an organization. It's a whole different bunch of different elements. There's a whole bunch of different ways that managers operate, you know what I mean, based upon who they're managing and what they're managing. And, I want to talk obviously more so about like artists, because this is music based, but we're gonna widen it a little bit, because management is bigger than just music. Again, managing people, managing products, managing companies. It's all different, but it kind of ties into the same. So hopefully this will be helpful for entrepreneurial thinkers. You know what I'm saying? But before I continue, I need to tell y'all this management joke, because on the movie Get Rich or Die Trying with 50 Cent, there's a part when like he gets out of jail or whatever, and Terrence Howard's playing the management role or whatever, and he comes in the car, and then 50 Cent got his ratchet homeboy in the back. So me and my brother, we always make fun of this, and it's become like a little epidemic within our circle, because everybody's always like, why y'all saying management? The dude in the dude in the back goes management, because 50 goes, he's hyped, he's ready to get his career going, and he got, the manager in the front seat driving, ready to, take on the tasks. And then the guy in the back is just looking in the back like hating with the bad vibes. And then the manager 50 Cent says something, and then the dude in the back goes, well, how we gonna afford all that? And then the manager goes, he goes, management gonna take care of all that. And immediately the guy in the back responds and goes, management. Like he's looking with disbelief and hate at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But I always liked that part, and I said it. I kept it going around me because it's been an inside joke, management. So when we say management, we're either saying that somebody needs management or like, holler at the management, you know what I'm saying? So that's our little inside joke with that whole management thing. It's funny. Check it out if y'all get a chance. But let's get into the first bulletin. Comparing it to basketball. I gotta compare everything to basketball. That's my stuff. So if you hear people within my circle talking about comparing things to basketball, they got that from me. I've been comparing things to basketball for like 20 years, real talk. I even heard Kanye on his last interview with Drink Champs talk about basketball, and he put it in a form of like how I would have put it if I was trying to tell somebody something. I always use basketball for everything because I'm a structurable nigga. Like, I love structure. Like, I dream of structure. I live structure. Structure's just what it is. But comparing this type of concept to basketball management, how do we do that? So the players are the artists, the coach, management. You know what I'm saying? Like, the players are on the field, and I'm pretty sure that there's players, like we got the captains, and they play a role too. Sometimes they're on the court managing, but for the most part it's the coach. But even the coach got management, because he got like people above him that's telling him what he needs to be doing, and telling him that he needs to win games and they need to sell jerseys. Like, it's not just basketball players playing basketball and winning and crowds going crazy. There's a business infrastructure behind that. If anything, the players are very important, but they also get looked at in a lot of the times as the least important, because you're expendable, just like you are as an artist in this game. And in basketball, it's kind of wild, because like the only difference is like there's really no independency in basketball. I know a lot of artists nowadays found their independency through music, but like in basketball, it's really not like that at the high level. Like, you're signed to the company, and you gotta fulfill your contract. And you know what I'm saying? And sometimes if you're not fulfilling your contract, then you get traded to different teams, and that's business. And sometimes in the world of music, if we trade niggas to different teams, then we're hated and people hate us. Like, and that's why, like, I need to tell y'all this, because it's a business, yo. We need to treat it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, trading players is like getting rid of people off your roster in music, or even getting rid of a friend that might not be helping you move forward in life. You know what I'm saying? Management. It's all the same thing. These basketball players, they need management. They need guidance. They need somebody to uplift them when they're down. And they need somebody to see the court from a different view, a different angle. They need somebody to write out the play. You know what I'm saying? And like I said in the previous episode, sticking to the script. When the coach writes out the play, or the manager writes out the play, you got to stick to the script. Now, before I move on, because this just came to me, there's a misunderstanding. There's a big misunderstanding with management. Here's where the contradicting comes in, because I got to look at it from two angles. A lot of the times, managers come through with the contracts and drop you with the contract. But realistically, in reality, in all cases, the artist is the boss, and the manager works for the artist. We don't know that a lot, because sometimes the managers are older, more experienced, more wise, and they know this shit more than the artist does. And that's why sometimes, like, for instance, like a situation like a Floyd Mayweather, when he wasn't always Mayweather Promotions and all this other stuff. Like he had to go through the system first. The system is, being signed to this and signed to that. But he started to figure out that he was the boss. And once he knew he was the boss and he was, and he had a better understanding of boxing, he moved like the boss. But he still had managers and agents and a whole bunch of different things in play to make his situation push forward. But initially he was always the boss, but sometimes these agents or these managers, they're gonna make it seem like they're the boss. Now, jumping on the artist side, I don't want y'all to think because I said that, like, oh, I'm the boss, like I'm about to move in, oh yeah, everything I said. No, don't do that. Because you might not know the game. You might not understand, like, yeah, you're the boss, but learn. If you don't know this shit, don't come in trying to like think that you're the boss and change shit because somebody said that you're supposed to be the boss. Like, no, the managers are supposed to be smart. So they're supposed to know, like, they're already supposed to know a lot of like tricks and traits on how to push and navigate your career forward. And you got to let them sometimes. You got to trust the process or trust the person you hired or trust the person that came at you and, let stuff get done. A lot of these times because we think like we're independent, and I'm telling you this too because like this is a big problem that I've had for years. You think you're independent and you try to take on too much. You try to play the manager role, like we said earlier. You try to play the artist role, and you're trying to do your artwork, trying to do your video, trying to edit it. Like it's a lot of work. Like to be successful, and and I'm not even talking about high level success. I'm talking about just success, period. Because there's so much different levels of success. You know what I'm saying? And whatever the level of success is, if you want to do it right, you got to do it right. There's, you got to put people in play, and every situation is different. Moving forward, let's see what we got on the bulletins. The one thing I will talk about is this whole, like, before I move forward, this whole manager being an artist too. So I got to clown myself and clap myself because I do this. And I understand this. So I'm gonna say the bad parts and I'm gonna say the good parts about it. The bad parts is like, okay, you got too much going on. Like, yeah, you got a big vision. You can help artists, blow up and move ill, and you get it. But you still can't take on that much. Like your project alone, like you as your whoever you are, like me being Nazztravagant, that's already too much to handle. So when you start, grabbing artists that you want to, micromanage or manage like hard body, like, bro, like I advise this. This is like the advice I'm giving because I'm giving it to myself. I've already thought about this. You need to put another manager in play and have the manager kind of micro managing your movement, if that's how you're trying to do it. And sometimes everything is different because I've done it where like I was the label. And then I've also done it where like I was the production company, but I was always the producer also, no matter what. And then trying to play on the managerial role and, being the CEO. That's a lot. That was already four positions I just named right there. That normally you would have had 4 different people that's making that one situation that effective versus you being one guy. Like look at all, like look how I just explained that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's too much. So listen to my advice and lighten the load. Go hire a manager. Friends as your managers. I already know that's the next one. I don't even gotta look. Yep. Friends as your managers. Your friend as your manager. Could be a great thing, but it could also be a bad thing. You gotta look at it from both sides of the spectrum. The good thing is that your friend knows you. He's gonna ride for you. And I'm talking about a good friend, not just any friend. Let's just imagine that this is a real good friend. He knows you. He's going to ride for you. He's going to help you make good decisions. The bad thing about it could be, is that if they don't have that hustler's mentality and they're trying to manage you, you guys already failed before you started. Because that manager role is not just, oh, I'm your friend, I'm going to make the right choices for you. No. It's you got to make the right choices for me, but you also gotta know how to be a machine, a shark, a gorilla in the jungle. Like you're taking on tasks. You gotta be an asshole sometimes. You might have to be the bad guy. You gotta be the bad guy. You actually are the bad guy. Your job is to make the artist look like he's not even untouchable. Like he's the good guy. He might be the asshole telling you no, and then you gotta go and deliver it, and now you look like the asshole. So you gotta have those traits as a manager. You know what I'm saying? So there's good parts and there's bad parts. I don't want to talk too much about that because I'm sure like later down the line I'll be throwing in, little topics about this throughout my other topics. This is gonna be dope. When I had a manager, so this is storytelling time, because we have to have knowledge in this to be able to talk it. So let's say like 12 years ago, I'll say 12, maybe even 15, you know what I'm saying? 15 years ago, when I moved to California, it was probably maybe 2 or 3 years or maybe even 4 years after I moved to California, and I learned a lot of stuff about, the game as an artist. I'm looking at this on an artist perspective first, all right? I got into a good position, and we got caught wind of this manager. This manager caught wind of what we were doing, and came into our lives and came into our group. This is when I had a super group. The name of the group was the Tunes. And I'm not gonna tell you the whole story because I gotta save this later for my book. You know what I mean? But we had a fire manager, and at the time, we were young and hungry and grinding and I guess you could say desperate. But we got this manager, and he was nice. He's from Boston, and he set up a fire plan, and it actually pulled through. Now, what was going on is that, on the back end, we were desperate, hungry, and we had anxiety to get this record deal. And again, I'm talking in a different light on it now because this is the later me looking back at the earlier me in the situation. We didn't understand what this dude was doing. So sometimes when we wouldn't get phone calls or we wouldn't, hear from this guy maybe a weekend at a time, we would get antsy, and we had other, people lined up that we wanted to hit up and that we could possibly do business with too. You know what I mean? So us being antsy, jumping forward and moving forward, he set the plan, and we was like, yo, that's a fire plan. The plan was for him to, shop us around and try to create some type of bidding war strategy. I didn't even understand that back then. I know a bidding war is 2 or 3 labels all want you, and we'll throw $1 million. Oh, we'll throw $1.5 million. Oh, we'll throw $1.8 million. That's basically what a bidding war is in the game. You know what I'm saying? So that was his plan, but we wasn't hearing from him. So we had other contacts. When I went to Cali, I had little contacts of when I was just straight up just Nazz only. And, I was collecting business cards and phone numbers. And, when we were waiting, desperately waiting from our point of view, we was making, erratic moves, as he would say, and we was hitting up other people, but we wasn't telling them. Now, right there off top was already major fault on our behalf, not telling our manager the moves we're making. Because, again, looking at it now, I don't know what type of strategy this guy's pulling off. I don't know what he's doing on the back end. He could be bullshitting, or he could be really playing his cards right and trying to set things up. Because remember, the manager got a role. We're younger. He's older. I don't know what he's doing. Even if he's doing something grimy, I don't think he was, though, looking forward, but he's still setting something up. We got to be patient. There's another word called patience. And that's another thing that artists got to have. Being patient don't mean you're not moving. Being patient means you're building while something else is getting worked on. Understand what I just told y'all right there. But we started taking meetings with other people. So we went, real talk, this is a real story. We went to Interscope Records, and we met with one of the smaller guys in the building. He was like a dude that gave me a business card early on in my career as Nazz when I first got to Cali. And then later on, he was moving up the ranks in Interscope Records. So I set up something for me and my group to go meet him, and we went to go meet him. And everywhere we went as a group, we was the group. We wasn't bummy and shoulders down. We was the group. We had all the gear on, looking crazy. The tunes was lit. It was lit. That's how I learned about marketing crazy, is being in that group and how hard we went. But he liked us, and he was like, yeah, let's go. He's like, I'm in here, I'm in this office, and he was ready to go because there's different departments, different offices, and in this game, you could be a tech guy and have a love for music, and you might be trying to build a little project on the side so that when you get to the boss, you got something to show. So us being erratic, again, we met with him, we met with a couple other people, but he was the most serious one. I'm not throwing names out until I get the book all the way written. You know what I'm saying? The book's coming soon, trust me. But a couple of weeks later, our manager comes back, and everything he said just started happening like this. I'm talking about like fast. Like, okay, yo, I got this label coming in. I need y'all to be ready by tomorrow. And we're like, okay. And we was already ready to go. Famous quote, stay ready, you never gotta get ready. And that's the vibes that we definitely had. So we were ill too, because we had this crib over in Pacoima, and nigga, the living room was the stage. And we had the smoke, the big speakers, and we was ready. And he brought the first label, and I'll throw a couple of labels, but I won't mention the people because the people are big too. I need that for the book. But Columbia, Universal, Interscope, Capitol, a couple more, but they were just in the living room day in and day out. One day it'd be this label, the next day it'd be that label. And he set the plan. He did it. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what he was doing in the back, but we're performing in front of labels and we're excited. Remember, we already made this other move on the side. Moving forward, let's go forward. We go to Interscope Records in Santa Monica, and we go into a meeting, and we're excited. We know we got this. He know we got this. We're overly prepared. So we get in there, and one of the high-level execs comes in, and he starts looking at our presentation. And he's like, he's impressed. He's blown away. And he's like, wow, this is crazy. He's like, I need y'all to work in the marketing department for us. You know what I mean? Because we were all beasts, not just me. I got to give it to my two group members too. Y'all know who you are. Y'all were ill. The contribution was dope. The dynamics were fire. It was a no-brainer. But 5 minutes later, another record exec comes in with the guy that we auditioned for, that I told y'all before, that we took the meeting on the side. They come in together. Me and the group are looking at each other like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on and what is about to happen? And then the manager's also looking around like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what the hell is going on here? So they pull the manager out, they pull the A&R out, who we auditioned for, and they pulled the exec out, and the exec met with the other exec. And basically, before they left, this is what was said. I'm not gonna mention no names. This is your group? He said it's his group. These are execs saying this to A&Rs. And then we're just in the back like, the fuck? They leave. The manager's still there, chilling. I can't recall but exactly how it happened, but we were waiting for like an hour for them to come back. And then I don't know who said it. I forget who said it, but one of us told him what happened, and he flipped out. But we're still just waiting. We told him that we took the meeting, and he was like, what the fuck? Like, what? They pull him out the meeting. They tell him whatever. He comes back. We start walking to the elevator. We get in the elevator, and this nigga chews us the fuck up. Like, I'm talking about, he chews us in and spits us out. Like, he murdered us with words and was just angry. And I felt him, because at the same time we're getting chewed up, we're walking out with our deal gone. You know what I'm saying? Because of communication, which I'm also going to talk about in the bulletin, because of lack of communication and not trusting the process and not trusting the person that we even hired in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen to what I'm saying, man. I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm telling you. Real talk. Let's move on. That's enough storytelling. Let's get back to the facts. But I got stories though, man. It's all experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just so you know, that manager also went on to do big things, big accolades. You know, sometimes that don't matter to some people, but you know, it matters to a lot. And he went on and became successful. And I didn't watch, you know, his moves every day and wasn't on him, but I was hearing and, you know, keeping a tab because I believed in him. I thought he was ill, but he moved on and he ripped, you know, became successful out here because he kept moving. Maybe his vision on how he wanted to run things, he was like, yo, I'm gonna run through every artist until I get to where I need to get to. And that's another thing we need to talk about too. It's like sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to get to the next step, because now this is where I'm gonna talk about me as a manager. Yep, that's the next one. Me as a manager. So me as a manager, it's like there's a lot of different, you know, frustrations, because I carry a different trait. I carry a managerial trait. I got managerial skills, but then I also carry the trait of the artist. So when I'm the manager and I'm looking at the artist, I might be a little too on them because I'm trying to do my job, but I also want to see them doing their job the way I would have been doing my job if I was the artist. So like that's where like a lot of the times I get into like debacles with these artists and I'm in my feelings or maybe they're in their feelings and things come to halts and pauses and don't move forward because there really be emotions behind it with me as a manager knowing the artist process. And when I'm not seeing these artists doing it how they're supposed to be doing it, it becomes very frustrative. And I get into a crazy emotional state of mind and it makes it hard to move forward. And, that's not right the way I handle it, but that's how I handle it. And, I've been trying to do better because I work with a lot of artists and I don't really have any artists right now signed to me. I'm like the Beatles. Like, I know I got to do it soon, but I have that Beatles mentality. The Beatles, they have no contracts with each other. They've never had it. They just know their roles and they just do it. Go research it. But I got to work on these managerial skills too, because I've had ups and downs as a manager. I've had wins and I've had many losses as well. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not an easy process because again, it's not just managing artists. I've had successful products that I've managed. You know what I'm saying? Different businesses that I've managed, like Winglord. I don't know if y'all heard of it. Go check it out. Dope businesses that you see winning that you're managing. And they're all different. They all have a different infrastructure of how you have to manage them versus the artist. But like I said earlier, it's all the same too, because it's managing, it's pushing something forward and trying to break something out and trying to get something to the people or trying to keep things on track. Like sometimes managing an artist is like keeping them on track, keeping them grinding, keeping them in a good state of mind. That's another thing I deal with these artists is their personal lives. And that's why it's hard as a being the producer, the artist, the manager, and then the friend. It's like you gotta deal with the personal lives, and then the personal lives become part of the business, and then shit gets mad, fucked up, and screwed up. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, this is no shot at nobody. This is a bunch of things wrapped up into one. You understand what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I'm taking shots at myself and how I need to handle stuff, and maybe I'd have a little more success in certain areas too. You know what I'm saying? Like this is educational, but it's also, I've been researching this. I've been writing this stuff down because there's certain parts of my businesses that are lagging certain attention, they're lagging certain infrastructure, and I'm trying to go and fix those things as well as I move forward with some of the stuff I'm doing. And I'm perfectly aware that I need to hire more people around me to do the jobs that I want done the way I need them done. I need management. You need management. We all need management. Anyways, let me move forward real quick and I'll get back into that. I was doing some research the other day on management, trying to get other people's perspectives on it before I deliver y'all these gems in this game. And I came across a dude named Richard McMunn. And, he has a little career vibes podcast and videos on YouTube. And I was just going through his his stuff, and he was saying some pretty legit shit that was helping me out. And, they're gonna sound cliche, but I'm a say 11 habits that a manager should have, and I'm gonna elaborate on my end and give it to you the way I feel. You know what I mean? It should be done. But go check him out, Richard McMunn. Expand your brains, man. Go research. Habit number 1 is that a successful manager takes ownership of all situations within their remit. There's no excuses. That's dope. I live by that. There's never no excuse. Like when we lose, I lose. When you lose, I lose. When I lose, you lose. So there's no excuses. When I'm on the team, it don't matter who took the last shot, nigga. We all lose. if you brick the shot, and we all have to live with that. Now, someone made a wild comment the other day within the circle of the family, and I want to elaborate on it. No shots intended. Take it how you want it, but this is how it is because I've been referring to basketball for years. If we're in the locker room and I got the 5 players on the court and I'm the coach and I say I want Kobe taking the shot, if I want Kobe taking the last shot, I want Kobe taking the last shot. Now check it out. If Kobe misses that last shot, I'ma live with that. But if you got the ball first and then you hogged it and you went and did the layup or the shot and then you bricked, I'm mad at you and you only because I said Kobe was gonna take the shot. Habit number 2, they always set high standards from the get-go. When you get these managers, they gotta have a good game plan from the get-go. Like whatever you're doing, they need to like already have, oh, we need to do this, we need to do, like that's how they need to move, real talk. This gives them reputation as someone who will not settle for anything but the best. And that's all you want. You want the best results. And anybody could do this, man. I'm telling you, you don't, like I said earlier, another contradiction here. Just because you don't know the management shit don't mean you can't learn it. Like you can learn it on the way, but you just gotta be hungry and like you gotta be like processing shit quick and moving with decisions. That's another thing too. Decision making, I think I skipped it. You gotta live with your decisions as a manager or the artist. Like, yo, let's do this. That shit fails, get him on the next one. Because take the loss as a lesson. That's it. Even when you're successful, when you take the loss, take it as a lesson. Don't do that again. Don't go down that road again. Don't make that decision again. Don't fuck with those people no more. Straight up. Habit number 3 that the managers need. They always look to improve and they never think they have reached the pinnacle of their career. I never thought of it like that because sometimes I get comfortable too when I'm doing it straight. It's like, oh, I'm doing it. Let me stick right here for a little bit. No, keep moving. There's no limits to this shit. You know what I'm saying? I even got the record sky is the limit, but there's really no limits. Fuck the sky. Like keep going. Like why? Like if you had 100K, why would you be cool with just that? Like okay, you got it, you ripping, but turn that shit into 2. Keep going. Like whatever you did is working. Like let's keep moving. I like that one. Habit number 4. They listen more than they speak. I'm gonna battle this one a little bit because I talk a lot. Listening gives you time. Listening gives you options. Listening gives you knowledge. So me, I do my listening by doing research because I'm a talker. That's the artist side. But the artist needs to shut the fuck up too and listen too. But I'm the businessman. But then I'm the man. It's a lot of roles. So that's why I speak. Sometimes, this is what I think. Sometimes the outspoken, you gotta take it as energy. Like if you ain't speaking and then this person's speaking, that's energy they're creating. That means they hungry. They want to do something. You need to engage in that. Engage in that energy and move with that energy. Because energy is another thing that's not easy to come across. Some of you niggas are bored in your careers because you don't have no energy around you. And that's facts. You need to have good energy around you. If you got bummy energy around you, it's going to drop your fucking frequency all the way down. Like, get away from them niggas. Or help them niggas by creating good energy. Because you can be an energy creator. Real talk. I've seen it happen. I've seen groups where like one person slacking and then the next person just started creating this new energy. And then it starts picking this person up. You know what I'm saying? That shit's real. Habit number 4. Managers, habit number 4. They realize the importance of building a support network around them. That's what I need to work on. Great managers treat people with respect and they command respect too. So that means they pretty much they demand that shit, but they demand it by earning it because let me keep it moving. Great managers will build relationships with team members, contractors, suppliers, and other managers so they have a solid support network when they need it. That's dope. So basically, it's like the relationship shit is the most important too. I'm glad that he even said that because that's the most important one because the relationship is the network and it is the net worth. Your network is your net worth. So if you're a broke nigga chilling with broke niggas, you're gonna stay a broke nigga. If you're a broke nigga and you chill with niggas that are getting money, you're gonna start getting money. Let's flip it and say that in English. If you're a broke person and you're hanging with broke people, you're gonna stay broke. If you're a broke person and you start hanging around rich people, they're gonna change your mind and your perspective, and you're gonna start making richer moves. Definite. So that's something to look at, to really think about. Real talk, true story. Let me move on because I'm pressed with time right now. Sometimes they do nothing. I don't understand this one. I really don't, but I'll try to elaborate on it as much as I can. Sometimes they do nothing. I do shit all day. I can't never do nothing unless I'm playing Call of Duty. I don't know. As managers, we think we must make decisions all the time. That is not true. There is power in words. Let's wait and see what happens. Whenever something happens, ask yourself this question. Do I have to make a decision right now? I stuttered earlier. I didn't read that right. But he said, whenever something happens, ask yourself the question, do I have to make a decision right now? Yeah, I don't know. McMahon, however you say your name. I don't really like this one because I need to talk. I need to say some stuff. But maybe that's a good habit for some other people. That probably goes back to talking about just listening more. But again, I don't think as the manager that you should only be listening. You need to be doing a lot of the talking. Energy, keep the energy up. They master the art of filtering. This one's fire. Draw up a list of things they need to do. Prioritize the most urgent and the most important tasks. They rest when everything is over. The rest can wait. That's dope. So this is like, I feel like this is like being organized. Like you got to get organized. Like, and that's like with me. Like I'm an organized person, but I'm kind of sloppy. Like if I had someone organizing my shit, it'll make me move better because I find myself always trying to clean before I start any project, whether if I'm going in the studio, if I'm about to go out, anything I'm doing, I got to clean the area first before I move forward. So I like that because that basically means that, like, you know, them keeping things organized keeps the company organized, keeps the artist organized. Maybe they got the schedule books and they're keeping the schedules for the artists and they're telling me, yo, 6 o'clock, you got to be here. Not, you know what I mean? So that's dope. Habit 8, they get to know their employees. This is dope. I like this one. I remember I was really elaborating on this one. They speak to their team members. They find out what their strengths and weaknesses are. They find out their career aspirations. They praise them. They provide honest feedback. Let me start with the praise them. I got to start praising people more. Definite. I got to start giving people more credit. That's one thing that I felt like I was using as a weapon against people to make them go harder, but it's not really making them go harder. It lowers their self-esteem. So you got to praise people more for sure. I love that. And I'm going to do that. Don't praise them too much though, because then niggas start getting comfy. You know what I mean? But anyways, they speak to their team members. That's dope. That automatically, you know, you got a relationship. You're talking to everybody. People need to feel important. If there's a lot of people in the room and you're not talking to them, they're gonna feel like, fuck am I doing here? You know what I mean? They find out their strengths and weaknesses. That's the best one because you need to know who's nice at what in order for this to move forward. I can't have the person on the websites that don't know how to work websites, but he knows about Instagram. You go do Instagram. Let's find somebody else to do the websites because you're nice. Your Instagram is moving. You know how to post this, like do that for the company. That's why I need you. Find out their strengths and weaknesses. Weaknesses is not a bad thing. It's really not. There is a saying though, the weakest member on your team, like, makes the team weak. So you need to build the weakest person on the team. I talked about this on my Instagram one time about the weakest person, like keeping the team down. Like you just got to get to know the weakest person. If you get to know the weakest person, I'm pretty sure you'll find strengths that you've never imagined, that even they never imagined that they've had. That's why you got to be that coach-like person. If you're taking on the managerial spot, you got to be rising people up and finding and bringing out things from people that they can contribute towards the project or whatever you got going on. Let's move forward. Uh-oh, I lost it. Where we on? Number 9. Habit number 9. I don't like this one either, but I guess this is a challenge. This is a battle. They seek feedback. Highly effective managers are not afraid to ask for feedback. Once they receive the feedback, they decide which parts are useful. Use feedback to your advantage. Okay, feedback is good, but who are you getting the feedback from? Who's giving you the criticism? This is how I do it. I got like 5 people that I'll ask for criticism because I love their criticism. And two of the people that I ask, they're always negative. But I take it as a positive because they know me. So that's like them trying to bring out a better version of me. And then I got other people that kind of agree with me more like 90 to 95% of the time. But I know that those people share the same experiences as me and they know my vision. So like I got a small circle. I can't be everywhere. That's why I don't like when people are on Instagram and they're like, yo, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And then like now they said this person said, like now you're changing everything because of everything you heard. You have to be very particular in who you take advice from. You know what I mean? So I guess feedback is great, but if you haven't found out right now who to ask for feedback, then you better start trying to figure it out, because by now we already supposed to know who we go to. We know who our go-to guys are. We know who our team is. We just know. Habit number 10 that a manager needs. They make decisions based on facts, not emotions. Many a poor decision is based on emotion or in the situation thinking. Take note on the fact and then make your decision. This is a dope one. We all make decisions based upon emotions and we fuck everything up. That's why it's hard. Like, that's why I said, like, for me, a real dope, successful manager is going to be ruthless and don't give a fuck about no type of emotions. And, family's going to hate him and people around him are going to hate him, but that's the job he signed up for. If he's successful at the job, that means he's good at the job. It's not about what people think. And that's why I feel like working with outsiders rather than family members is a little better. Some people say family first all the time. Yeah, that's a great statement, but it's not all the time. Not all the time. Most of the time, it's like outside of that, because that shit gets tricky. You know what I mean? Because then you can make strong decisions. And that's why, like I said, with the NBA has no fucking heart on who they trade or get rid of. You get hurt, you're out. You fight, you're out. You get old, you're out. You don't ball up right, you're traded. Yeah, we're on your nuts when you're hot and you're fire. As soon as you ain't hot no more, we're on the next guy. You're expendable. And you're expendable as artists. But artists, you're in a better position than the people in the NBA. Because notice a lot of time, a lot of the NBA players, when they get out of the NBA, they don't know what to do. But us as artists, there's one word that I've been living by for a long time. It's my one code: independency. You can be independent because it's different now. You know what I'm saying? Use these labels to your advantage. What's the last one? Great managers have someone to help them, a mentor. That's what I need too. If you have someone more experienced than you to guide you and help you, you will learn much faster. That's true. It's like I was telling you about that dude earlier. I'm applying things that he did back in the day with my group to what I'm doing now, and it's effective. Sometimes it don't work because, again, you're working with other people and other brains, but it's effective. And watching him move in that time a lot of that's in Nazztravagant right now. Like, I took a lot of those elements and I loved it. I even loved it back in the day as an artist looking, because I was like, wow, got a big brother or big homie guiding me in this game. I loved it. It was dope, but we fucked it up. Not being patient, you know what I'm saying, and not sticking to the script and not trusting the process. But yeah, definitely roll with a big homie. Like, I feel like I'm the big homie for a lot of these young artists. Some of them, I know a lot of them follow me too without knowing me or, reaching out to me too. And that's okay, because I don't need to have a relationship with everybody. I know that a lot of people like on Instagram are learning every day from things I've been doing for years. That's me contributing to the culture. That's me educating y'all and motivating y'all. That's why I do giving them the game too, because all the stuff y'all see, I'm a hard act to follow. All the stuff that you see me doing, it's a lot, but it's been a buildup. And trust me when I tell you, like, I'm still trying to build them. I'm in my bag with a lot of them, but I'm still building them at the same time. But I need the infrastructure to keep getting on point. I've been fighting for that for a long time. And the reason why it's not just on point as we speak is because the role playing. Like, I still got to be the artist and the entertainer. You know what I'm saying? So it's not easy being a guy like me. So when you take on the roles, managers and artists, which I don't think you should do it. I think you should be separate. You know what I mean? You got to know there's a lot that comes with it. You can't sleep, because when you're the artist who's playing manager, when you're the manager who's playing artist, like you can't handle it all day. A lot of you artists got to stop thinking you're the boss because you can upload your own record on DistroKid. Nobody cares. I don't care about that. I'd rather your label upload your record because y'all don't even know what you're doing. You just have the access to press upload and then it's out. After that, what are you doing? What type of administrative stuff are you doing versus you being out there, being the artist and rocking shows and keeping your physique on point? You know what I'm saying? Keeping your face looking smooth, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what it's all about. This year alone, I had a lot of problems with a lot of the artists, man. I'm telling you, like, y'all got to take what I'm saying and understand this. Communicate with me and communicate with whoever you're working with, because it's going to be the same process no matter where you go, no matter how you move. We got to communicate because it's an easy process. It's just do your job and I do my job. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, straight down. Management is very, very serious, y'all. It's a serious thing. We're going to get into part 2 real soon too. So tune in to when we drop that next episode. Y'all already know who it is. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, giving them the game. Management. I am Nazztravagant.
No joke, I done been through it all. I can show you the ropes. Time to put the pieces to the puzzle. Show you how to shift, how to move, how to hustle. Man, don't you know who I am? I'm holding all the keys, I'm giving them the game. You gotta watch for the snakes too. They gon' try you, don't let them try